For many years, I was involved in gangs and lived that real destructive life, ran the streets, and was involved in drugs and just the gang life. I was incarcerated for 19 years to the point where while I was in there, I had given up. I believed that I was going to die in there. I believed that that was where I was going to be for the rest of my life, and I came to a point in my life where I was content with that.
What was reentry like in Santa Clara County? Well, it was pretty dim. Reentering into the community after being incarcerated is almost like astronauts reentering into the Earth's gravity. They've had their food paid for, they've had their housing, everything has been taken care of, and yet when they enter back into society, they have to have jobs, they have to have cars, they have to have transportation, they have to have a place to stay. This was a heavy weight to walk right out of prison and not to have any of these resources available. The only one that was servicing this population were churches in San Jose.
Prior to the Reentry Center, individuals seeking treatment or community resources had to navigate a multitude of service providers spread throughout the county. The Sheriff's Office rehabilitation officers provided information prior to release, but had no method to follow up with these individuals as they entered back into the community.
The state of California kind of surprised us under Governor Brown a couple years back, indicating that we needed to deal with a population of inmates being released back here to Santa Clara County that the state was no longer going to take direct responsibility for. And 5 years ago, the Reentry Center was opened up.
In March of 2011, the Board of Supervisors established a cross-system reentry network to identify comprehensive reentry and recidivism reduction strategies, linking inmates and formerly incarcerated individuals to services.
The first 2 weeks that people are released from prison, they're 12 to 13 times more likely to die. And the things that they're likely to die from is untreated mental illness, so suicide, drug overdose, and then interruption of their medical care. So here we provide access to drug and alcohol treatment. We have a psychiatrist on site who provides medication, and we're a full-service primary care site, so we can actually help people get linked into whatever health care they need within Valley Medical Center.
And what we provide is treatment for services, which is drug and alcohol, which is mental health. Also, social service benefits is given to them here. We address their needs of services when they come out from being incarcerated. And I provide a warm setting, a warm hand, a smile. Let them know that, I'm one of them, because I've been there and done that. But now that I've changed my ways in life, I can address and help them understand, that being incarcerated isn't the answer.
I got out. John Beltran introduced me to the center where many of the individuals that worked there, just everybody would just welcome me with open arms. I was just being helped from housing to hygiene to clothes. This is 19 years later. I don't have nothing. 8 months into the home, individual named Manny that works at the AB 109 referred me to Goodwill Industries for a job position for a janitorial. So I came down here. The position wasn't open yet. I met a woman by the name of Shelby that offered me a position with auto detailing. I said okay, and that happened almost 3 years ago. And when I first started with the auto detailing department, I was only working 4 hours a day for 60 days. And after that, I just moved up in level. I became permanent, 8 hours, a lead person, a supervisor, and now I'm a manager of the auto detailing department where I first started off. working 4 hours a day.
5 years ago, the county wasn't partnering with organizations. They've been really able to extend their services through working with organizations like us and Catholic Charities. We're able to provide counseling for reentry folks to help them figure out how to resolve conflict in the workplace in a way that works for employers. We're able to provide things like resume writing skills, interview skills, which works for them, and also when they get out, immediate employment, which wasn't available five years ago.
Well, the Custodial Alternative Supervision Program allows opportunities for participants as they reintegrate back into society. We help them create new pathways and positive life changes. This has only been around for 5 years, so we're kind of the trailblazers in this program. Our unit is very unique in that it includes enforcement deputies as well as correctional deputies. You know, we need to be willing to help people. That's what the Sheriff's Office is moving in the direction of assisting these people reintegrate back into society. We're not necessarily interested in locking people up for long amounts of time.
My success in the CASU program came from the transition that the supervised CASU provided me. It didn't just throw me back out of jail onto the streets. It supervised me while I transitioned into the classroom, then into a THU, and then back home. The Reentry Center definitely gave me my confidence back. As I was transitioning, it provided me housing. It helped me get my books for college, and it also helped me with mental health when I found out my mom had cancer again. So it helped me go through that and transition and deal with it in a positive manner rather than going back out and relapsing.
This program has helped me to reunite with my family and to gain the tools that I needed to go back to school. And now I go to college. I just completed my first quarter and I'm getting ready to start my second one at the end of this month.
CASU's helped me tremendously in staying focused, staying clean for 4 years, and keeping a great support system, and knowing that there's always somewhere to come back to when I need help.
Now, the probation department has definitely started a process of providing the client with what they need to not return to custody. So no longer is it the, violation, return to custody, handcuff approach. It's evidence-based treatment and modalities to help someone meet the needs that they have so that they don't return to custody.
And so by having like a one-stop shop where you have physical health and behavioral health and job linkages has made all the difference in the world, and it's taken off so much from our probation officers having to, kind of pull off and do that for one individual at a time. In this way, we know the highest risk people are getting all-encompassing resources at the same time in the same place, and again, in a place they feel welcomed and comfortable.
What was it like, Jesse, being incarcerated for 28 years as a lifer and coming out into the community for the first time?
It was so overwhelming, full of anxiety, nervousness, and just lost, not knowing where to go, what to do, but this place helped me with all that. Your classes helped me to just slow down instead of becoming overburdened and overwhelmed, and all the coping skills that you helped me with. I'm not only blessed, but blessed in being released in the right place with the right people in my path to help me every step of the way.
Looking forward, we expect to have many more academic opportunities and opportunities with trades. A lot of employers and people in the past thought that inmates or people who had just gotten out of jail were evil and had committed serious crimes, but most of the time they're crimes related to drugs, alcohol, and those are the kinds of things that people can be rehabilitated about. And so we have lots of employers, large employers, who are interested in helping in the remediation and helping to get people back on their feet.
When these folks are coming out, it's not just that they're not recidivating, which is absolutely a goal, but that they are building lives that have meaning, and they're contributing to the community, and they're thriving. My further goal that 5 years from now is that we will be doing a better job putting services in front of jail, so that we're not only assisting people when they get out of jail and prison, but that we're providing the services up front so they never go there in the first place.
Can I tell a story? And so I was at a restaurant and I was walking in my car and this guy jumps out from behind a bush and he said, "I know you." And I thought, wow, I hope this is going to be okay. But he says, "I know you. You're Cindy Chavez." And I said, "Yes." And he said, "I have some feedback for you." And I said, I'm all ears. And he said, "I went through the Reentry Center and I want you to tell everybody there thank you, because it was such a good experience. And it's so important to have people believe in you." And he said, and he told me the story. He said, "I'd let my family down so many times. And this group of people, I hadn't disappointed. Like, it was really a fresh start." What I realized in that moment was, here's a man I've never met who came out of our jails, who had the confidence and the clarity to tell me what we were doing right, what we were doing wrong, and to tell me to keep doing it. And to me, that is the pinnacle of what Reentry is about. It is about giving people an opportunity to help themselves, to get back connected with their families, and to get back in our